Are you getting extra floofy? Is it too humid for you? Hey guys, welcome to another knitting episode of Voolenvine. I'm Kristin, also known as Voolenvine here on my YouTube channel, where I chat about all the knitting, all the sewing, or whatever crafty rabbit hole I happen to be diving down. And as always, I'm so happy that you're taking some time out of your day to chat about all those awesome things with me. And yeah, I am here reporting to you from Cape Cod. I am on vacation with my husband Dennis, and as you can tell, our cat Bella, she came along with us, and yeah, we escaped to New York. And happy 4th of July! Yes, it is 4th of July weekend here in the United States, so if you are celebrating, I hope you're staying safe and just enjoying a nice long weekend of, you know, social distancing, barbecuing, and, you know, just overall staying safe and relaxing, if anything. Dennis and I managed to get out of New York City for the weekend. We're actually staying at his parents' place here in Cape Cod, and we're just so lucky that we have this little place to kind of escape to. Coming up here has been really, really nice. It's so quiet and peaceful and just really, really relaxing. And as far as the coronavirus situation out here, I believe they are in phase 3 of coronavirus recovery, so outdoor eating, outdoor dining is allowed, and I have to say everyone has been wearing masks, everyone's social distancing, adhering to the rules. But I think tonight we're just going to pick up some lobsters and cook them up here and, you know, try to enjoy a quiet 4th of July, watch the fireworks on telly, as you do. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. I have a tiny but mighty episode for you. I'm going to share the knitting projects that I brought with me and the progress that I've been making on them, but just a couple of housekeeping notes. First and foremost, we have our History Make-Along that's currently underway. It's a year-long knit-along in which we're all endeavoring to create something historically inspired or historically accurate. Any type of project, you know, be it knitting, sewing, weaving, embroidery, whatever your craft is, you're welcome to join this make-along. It's a year-long make-along, and any project that you can prove to me that is inspired by something history related prior to the 1950s, you're more than welcome to hop on board. The one thing that I do want to touch on though is that up until now, all of my knit-alongs and make-alongs have been hosted over in the Voolenvine Ravelry group. However, Ravelry, if you're not familiar, is an online knitting community, knitting crochet community, fiber arts community. The site has proven to become very inaccessible to people with health conditions, or it's just either too bright or just basically just not accessible. And that's really unfortunate because Ravelry is such a wonderful, great resource, and you know, up until now, it's like I've had no bad things to say about Ravelry. They've helped launch many a pattern designer's business, and again, just a wonderful database and resource for fiber enthusiasts. However, the site is incredibly inaccessible when it comes to people that have health conditions, and I want to be sensitive to that and make, you know, these knit-alongs and make-alongs accessible to anyone who enjoys my YouTube channel and the content I create. So I am going to extend the make-along over to Instagram. So if you want to partake in this make-along, be sure to tag your makes using hashtag HistoryMAL, as in make-along. And then also, I'm going to open up this channel's YouTube community tab, which is a feature I've always been curious about, but never really jumped on board with. I don't know, I've never had the time or made the time to really explore it, but I really like the idea of it, and I'm wondering how it's going to pan out as far as hosting a make-along on. If hashtags work on there, that would be wonderful. So regardless, I'm going to open up the YouTube community tab to anyone who wants to partake or, you know, join in on this make-along. Feel free to use that space to post your projects, share links, or anything, you know, pertaining to the make-along, but be sure to use the hashtag HistoryMAL, and this way it will be easy for me to sift through and find when it comes time to announce giveaway winners and the like at the end of the year. So anyway, that was long-winded. Thank you so much for bearing with me. But I do hope this opens up the make-along and makes the make-along more accessible to those who are having issues with Ravelry's current situation. All right, that said, we are going to get into the episode proper, but just a quick note to let you know that this channel is sponsored by Skillshare. It is an online learning community platform where you can pretty much learn anything your heart desires, be it pertaining to crafts, be it business, YouTube, social media presence, editing, photography, whatever you want to learn, you can pretty much learn it on Skillshare. What I really love about Skillshare is that a lot of these classes are pretty short, so essentially they're kind of like crash courses, so to speak. So if you really need to learn how to edit on Adobe Premiere like I did really fast, Skillshare is the way to go, I think. And if that sounds like something you'd be into, click on the link in the description box below and you will be able to try Skillshare's platform for 2 months absolutely free. That said, let's get on with the show, and thank you, Skillshare. So welcome to our humble Cape abode. I do indeed have the fireplace going. Hey Bella. And you're probably wondering, Kristin, why do you have the faux fireplace going? It is a bit chilly outside, I'm not gonna lie. It is overcast. It did rain earlier. It is quite humid, but there's that wind in the air that's quite chilly, and I'm wearing a hoodie. I'm wearing a hoodie because I'm cold. I'm just a heat junkie, guys, and I am a chicken when it comes to cold. My threshold for coldness is 0 to none. So here I am, beginning of July, wearing a hoodie indoors in Cape Cod. But let's talk about what I'm working on. So I did bring a plethora of crafts with me because, you know, when you travel, me particularly, when I travel, I don't just like to bring 1 or 2 projects with me because I believe variety is the spice of life. So what do? You bring like 20 different types of projects with you. I brought knitting, I brought sewing, quilting I should say, I brought quilting, I brought cross stitch, I basically brought it all. So as of now, I've only been able to work on like one or 2 things. Well, first, all right, I'll talk about this, but I finally picked up my Pebble beach shawl, which is a pattern by Helen Stewart, one of my favorite pattern designers. I love her patterns because they're so simple and intuitive and relaxing. And this is a project that I cast on kind of as an SOS cast on / something to remember my grandmother by, who recently passed away, as I mentioned in a previous episode. But I had knit her a Pebble beach shawl as a gift 2 or 3 years ago. My aunt actually has a box of her belongings, so I'm hoping that the shawl that I knit for her is within that box, but I'm probably not going to be able to see my aunt for a while, so in the meantime I thought I would cast on another Pebble beach shawl, using different colors obviously, because the one that I knit for her was green. This one is going to be on the mauve side of things. I'm actually using 3 colorways for this project, and the idea is to kind of fade those 3 colors together. I know I'm not so much into fades, but when I saw these 3 colorways together, I was like, this has to happen. So this first colorway that I'm using is by Once Upon a Corgi in her rose gold colorway, and it's this really nice peachy pink color with very subtle flecks of, I want to say maroon or brown. I don't know, it's just very delicate. Really lovely, and yeah, again, I love Once Upon a Corgi yarns. Just all of her colorways just speak to my soul. It's just wonderful. But I'm also using, and the next color that I'm going to fade into it is this other colorway by Once Upon a Corgi yarns in her Hearth colorway, and that has a lot of peachy pinks in there as well that pick up on this shade. So, and then it kind of breaks into darker shades of maroon and burgundy and mauve, my favorite color, and the next color after that is going to be this one. I feel like I just talked about this, but here we go again. I'm about halfway done with the first part of the chart, or the first section of the shawl. I believe there are 3 different sections, so again, for each section I'm going to fade in a new color. Yeah, here is where I am with my Pebble beach shawl. Guys, my hair has a life of its own when it comes to humidity. It's pretty much useless when it's humid out. I just don't know what to do with it, except a ton of bobby pins, braiding it, creating some kind of weird situation. The frizz is gonna happen. So anyway, where was I? I digress. Let's talk Dennis's birthday sweater. So as I mentioned last time I chatted about knitting, I finished the front. I think this is the front. Let's pretend this is the front. And then I finished the back. So here's the back, and I'm almost done with the first sleeve. It's a sleeve, and if you are just tuning in and joining me, yes, this sweater is knit in pieces, flat, back and forth, stockinette, endless miles of stockinette. and I just need this to end. And normally this sweater would probably be done if this was a pattern that had great clear instructions, but unfortunately this pattern does not have the clearest of instructions. I should probably mention that this pattern is the Caine sweater by Martin Storey, who designed this for Rowan Pattern Company, or Rowan Yarns, who also publish patterns. And I will say their patterns aren't the most easy to understand. They're a little bit cryptic, but I feel like that's the case with most non-indie patterns. They just have like this cryptic shorthand way of describing how to do things, and I ran into a wall with this when it comes to how to decrease. I'm having a little trouble decoding what they mean by decrease at the end of every row or every alternate row. It's like the way that it's written is just incredibly cryptic. So I am kind of stalling on finishing this a little bit, unfortunately. Although I will say I got a good chunk of this sleeve done in the car driving up here because it was about a 5-hour car ride. Yeah. So anyway, I did manage to put a big dent in it, and you know, all that's left to do with this sleeve is to shape the sleeve cap, and it will all be good. But you know, Murphy's Law is that I will finish the sleeve cap and realize I've done it all wrong and will have to rip it out again. Not looking forward to that. Maybe it's just me because I stink at following directions and following instructions, so I guess it's probably just me. But anyway, it will be done soon. I'm not gonna let this languish. I want this off the needles. I want Dennis to have a sweater sooner than later. Again, the yarn that I'm using is Rowan Felted Tweed in their charcoal colorway, and I believe I have about 2 more skeins left, which, fingers crossed, should be enough to finish the sweater. I think it'll be enough because I'm almost done knitting the sleeve, and then I have 2 more balls and a ball and a half to knit the second sleeve, and then all that I have to do is knit the ribbing for the neckband. So I should have enough, and there you go. So anyway, that is where I am with Dennis's Caine sweater. And while I did bring a plethora of other crafts to work on, that is all I've managed to put a dent on since we've got up here. We did get up here, we left Wednesday night, and then we had all of Thursday. So I did get a good amount of knitting done in the car up here, and then in the mornings I've had a nice chunk of time to sit here and knit, which has been really, really nice. And yeah, Bella is having, you know, I think this might be the last year that we take her up here with us. She is not getting any younger, so I feel like with every year that we take her up here, she has a good time, but it takes her a little bit longer to settle in. She was so good in the car up right over here. She pretty much slept the entire trip, didn't make a boo, and the like. So, you know, she's just been kind of hanging out, enjoying the nature that's out the window and just taking it all in and relaxing. She has a couple of favorite spots around the house where she likes to hide, and but other than that, we've just been having a really nice time, relaxing, taking a break from work and city life and all that stuff. And yeah, so we are probably gonna head back on Monday morning and get back into the swing of things. So, you know, yeah. But wait, I almost forgot. You guys are probably wondering what I'm wearing. Did she make that? Well, yes. Yes, I did, my friends. This is a hoodie that I made many, many years ago. Well, not many, many years ago, probably about 5 years ago. And I wear this thing all the time. This is a hoodie by, I believe, McCall's or Butterick. It's one of the big 5 patterns. Generally, I'm not a hoodie type of gal, but, you know, come summer or whenever we come up here, it's definitely a hoodie culture. The hoodie comes out and I wear it quite often. And the shirt that I'm wearing, I'll take this off so you can see. This is a more recent make. Again, this is a Butterick pattern. I'm blanking. Is it Butterick? It might be McCall's. I think it's a McCall's pattern. Again, all this information in the description box below, but this is a really quick, simple top that I whipped up in maybe under 2 hours, and the fabric is absolutely divine. The fabric is Atelier Brunette, and it's just a very nice, high quality challis fabric, or viscose I should say, and yeah, it's just, I love it. I love it. I'm just wearing it over jean shorts, which you guys don't need to see because I generally don't like wearing shorts. Today is no exception. It's just Cape Cod and there's no happy medium other than wearing a hoodie and shorts. I can't win, guys. I really can't win. But anyway, that is what I'm wearing. And that said, I will end things there. Again, if you are in the US, happy 4th of July weekend. I hope you have a fun, safe holiday. And for everyone else, have a wonderful weekend. And as always, thank you so much for hanging out with me. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please feel free to like and subscribe down below. And if you'd like to support this channel, hop on over to my Patreon page where you can get some bonus content and join the conversation surrounding this YouTube channel and I will see you on the next video. Bye!